Hi and welcome to Matchday Live. My name is Benji Galob. I'm here with Ed Tucker to bring you today's Bucs Cup game between MMU first and Uni of Sheffield second team. We're here at PLATT Lane to bring you live commentary of this game. Hoping for a good game today. You looking forward to this one, Ed?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Last time out, MMU's 12-5 I think it was.
Yeah.
Lots of goals, end to end. Very interesting. Futsal is so much quicker than normal football, and after some of the football games we've seen recently, this is definitely exciting.
Yeah, it's a nice switch up. I mean, if you were here last week, we live streamed UA92 versus MMU first, and it was kind of like a stomp over. It's kind of just, you could see the difference between the teams. This game's going to be a bit more strategical, I think, because there's a bit more, they're kind of closer together. This Sheffield team is in third league, and MMU's in second league, so it's not too far apart, the skill gap.
The only thing that is to note, though, is that Sheffield are not doing great in the league. They have 3 games, 3 losses so far. They did beat Uni of Manchester in the Cup, though, to get into their second round. So maybe they'll be looking to bolster a poor league performance with a good Cup run.
Yeah, I mean, MMU were looking very strong in the first game. It looked like they took quite a while to get into it, though. Hopefully they don't do that today. Hopefully they get into the groove and they get involved straight away.
Yeah, UA92 scored the first goal in both halves, didn't they? It looked a little bit sharper off the start, and then and they only had, 1 or 2 subs, I think, last week. MMU had a full team basically to sub on, and that definitely made a difference to them. As the game went on, their fitness levels kept much higher, and there's the kickoff.
Here we go. We got MMU starting with the possession. See if they can start off quick and get the first goal this time rather than conceding.
I think MMU will be feeling a bit more confident as well because they have Sam Cook back in the team. I think he's normally their captain. He wasn't available last week to play, but back in the team now.
Yeah, speaking of teams, the Sheffield team actually have a missing player today. He managed to miss the actual bus in Sheffield. It's Logan. He's a defender for Sheffield, and he managed to wake up late, miss his alarm, and he missed the 7:10 meeting in Sheffield. So Sheffield are actually a player down today. Hopefully that doesn't affect them too much.
I mean, fair play. 7:10 bus seems pretty missable to me.
Yeah, straight up to Manchester and then straight into the game pretty much.
Sheffield looking to do something with the ball for the first time. But MMU coming away with it. Side main shot left, Kieran Williams. Kieran Williams finds himself a bit of comedian and told me last week that their coach was 19. Turns out he was 23, so he's aged 4 years in a week. So just a little update there for the people. And thank you, Kieran, for that.
Yeah, he also scored a little header last week that really shouldn't have counted in his favour.
Yeah, Ching Wei with that ping from a little set piece at the free kick. But yeah, he did have a nice little leap like a salmon header, but didn't quite. Well, it counted as his at first, but I think after the game we did tell him it wasn't his anymore and showed him a slow-mo replay that he wasn't happy about.
He got a feel for him, but hopefully he'll get his goals this week and make up for it. Here we go, MMU just lose possession, give the ball to Sheffield here in their own half.
Sheffield definitely playing differently from UA92. They were playing like a constant 2-2 outfield, so it kind of stayed like a box, whereas there they were playing more like a 3-1. Maybe thinking as they're playing against a team from a higher league and they're not doing the best themselves to play a little bit more defensive.
Yeah, I mean, it's well known that if you're an underdog for the game, counter-attack's the way to go.
Good little shot there though, across goal. Well saved by the MMU keeper James Kay.
James Kay did have a good game last week, even though conceding 5. He did have a good game. He managed to play fly keeper quite well. There was a few times it didn't work, but when you keep possession as a fly keeper, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and still have to do another shout out for Owen Young, the UA92 keeper last week. I think in the end it was 21 saves he made.
Yeah,
something crazy like that.
Yeah, he had a ridiculous game, and honestly, props to him. But it's unlucky that they couldn't make it out. Sheffield with a corner here. They seem to be looking to take a lot of long shots. Like they've taken quite a lot of long shots which have directed them to a corner.
I feel like a long shot in futsal isn't that long.
Yeah,
if you
it's
played
true.
normal football, you're probably always shooting inside the box anywhere on a futsal pitch, kind of distance-wise.
I think because the net's so small as well, you can't really get as much power on it. But if you do get the power on it, it's pretty much guaranteed to go in.
Yeah, that small ball we spoke about it last week is smaller than normal football, and I think slightly denser or slightly different materials, doesn't bounce quite as much. But yeah, if you put your foot through it properly, it does fly. Here goes Kieran Williams doing very well at the start here.
Oof.
Little like toe outside the foot shot there, just goes across goal. And Dennis Minter there in Sheffield goal. We'll be happy to see that go wide. He's had a couple saves already, to be fair.
Oh, he's just made a mistake in the defence.
Oh, well done again, though.
That's great
Dennis Minter.
defending.
Yeah, great save after a bit of a mistake at the back for Sheffield.
I think Kieran Williams will be a bit disappointed he didn't convert that into a goal, though.
Yeah, I think maybe this week he's done a bit of a mission to prove to us he can score. Here he goes again. Little pass. Oof. Didn't quite catch that properly on the camera there, but it seemed like he had a little bit of a sideways bitey attempt or something there.
Nearly went through the
scissor.
keeper's legs as well. It's quite a quick reaction, so just a quick shot then. Not let it through.
I think their keeper acts as their captain/coach.
Oh, that's bad ball. Oh, it's good keeping.
Oh, and again with a
Just
header
his
save.
head.
Taking a little tumble for it, but I'm sure he'd be thinking it's well worth it.
That's really important in futsal, I think. When you see that, you'd think it'd be a one-on-one, but the keeper's already out.
Well, yeah,
He's already acting like a player.
From the angle that we had, I thought, yeah, he was one-on-one already, but the keeper's done really well to get out early, see the danger.
And use his head, literally and theoretically
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, another one of those attempted shots from a bit further out.
Yeah, they must be trying this. They must have been doing this in training because it seems like quite a continuous thing that they're doing.
Maybe they're thinking MU's defence is pretty solid around the goal, and they're thinking the best way to get a goal was from that longer strike, catch keeper and defenders out. And you pick up the ball here, though, dangerous for Sheffield. Well blocked, though.
Yeah, he was very well closed down there by the Sheffield team. He did quite nice close dribbling, but he just couldn't open up a shot well enough for him. Oof, another outside of the boot shot.
We'd have to say it.
Showing signs of Cancelo there.
If anyone was wondering why there's always a City reference and Benji's on, I'm surprised he's a City fan.
That was kind of just hoof it out. I don't think you'd see that in futsal. Just kind of clear it.
Just get rid,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess if all it takes is a mistake from the keeper or defender, then you've got a good chance on goal, haven't you, if you get it straight out.
Well, here's Sheffield on the attack.
Oh, that was unbelievably
Super
close.
unlucky, yeah.
Cross goal off the keeper's left post and back out, and he's sure he's happy to get his hands on that, James Kay.
Yeah, he
danger
did
there.
manage to beat the keeper there as well.
You're looking all right, but I mean that was probably the best shot of the game so far. They've not actually worked a good angle for a shot quite yet. Kieran has had a couple from quite wide though. Oh, lovely
nice
dribble
close
there.
dribbling.
Good tackle though. Oh. Yeah, there may be players asking for a foul there, but the refs having none of it.
But if you do notice in that situation there, all of their Sheffield players were behind the ball. When they're defending, it seems like it's all-out defence.
Yeah, they're really dropping back.
Regain possession and then counter-attack.
Here we go, they're in dangerous position now though, 2v1.
The 1-2 just didn't work.
First pass cross was nice, but yeah, the second was not where he wanted it. Number 17 there, Charlie Stewart up top for Sheffield, and he gets on the ball here. Keeper well punched away, but dropped. Oof. Sure he won't be happy with that one.
Well, here we go. MMU are making 4 substitutions. They've changed 4 of their players, which are all the outfield players. The only player remaining is James Kay in that.
Yeah, we saw this last week, didn't we? And it was interesting. I think it just keeps MMU so physically able to play the game. You know, they're never running out of stamina because their team's only playing 6-7 minutes at a time, and then completely swap them round. And I mean, it can jolt the balance of play a little bit at the time. I remember last week actually when they brought on all their subs, they scored I think 4 goals within a couple of minutes actually when they brought their subs on.
I think Ollie Baker there has just caught the Sheffield keeper in his face just on a way bust. I don't think it was intentional, but I think a wayward arm just might have caught him in the chin.
Yeah, Sheffield won't want to see that. I think he's the only keeper they've got as well.
I mean, we're hoping he's okay, but he did drop to the floor quite quickly there.
I didn't see it. I was looking at the corner. He does seem to be stroking his face a bit, not happy.
Yeah, I mean, the referees come over straight away, seen what's going on. Yeah, I think everything's okay. But yeah, last week MMU, they did change 4 players, and it changed the game completely. This is what they're needing right now, 0-0, and we're quite a few minutes in. You kind of want to see them score a goal or 2, get the game into their hands, and then they can relax a little bit.
I mean, yeah, some of the scorelines we've seen from MMU and from Sheffield, to be fair, this season, you'd expect it to be a bit higher scoring already, or at least an early goal. But maybe we're going to have a second half full of action, and the first one that's a bit more cagey. I think Sheffield don't want to let the game get away from them either, because by the end of the first half in the game last week, was it 7-3 to MMU, and
Yeah.
UA92 didn't really stand much of a chance in the second half. I think maybe they've looked at that result and thought, we need to stop that from happening to us and make sure we're still in it in the second half, maybe.
Oof.
MMU going for a long shot there. He does get back onto it. Oh no, he's taking the corner.
It's quite a smart decision there, because I believe last week we found out that MMU were working on their corners. So maybe they've practiced something here.
Ooh, I like the attempt. Execution wasn't quite what they wanted, but
Did call for a corner there. Maybe seen a touch off the Sheffield defence.
I think that was number 17, Jake Barnes there for MMU with a little attempted volley from a corner. Would have been nice to see. Yeah, MMU with a lot more corners early doors as well. They've been working on their corners. Didn't actually manage to score one last week, but UA92 did say they've been working on defending corners as well, so they kind of neutralised them. Did have a lovely goal from a free kick set piece though.
Yeah, I mean, if they're trying to work on their set pieces in particular, that must mean that their normal outfield play must be up to scratch, for them at least. And maybe their set pieces aren't. So hopefully we'll see a bit more of the set piece specialists this game. MMU are playing fly keeper currently. Hopefully they can gain possession with this.
Yeah, Sheffield actually don't play a fly keeper. They keep theirs well in net.
Oh, that's beautiful dribbling there.
It drops back to him. So many bodies around there. So tough to get a good shot off. Drops back to 20 there for MMU. Chingwei, but couldn't quite muster up the same finish that he got for his goal last week.
It was lovely close dribbling there from Jake Barnes. MMU trying to take the kick in.
Oh, poor though. It's gone straight to Sheffield. Trying to get a kick in for themselves there. They're making a sub as well now. That's number 18. Finn Alott has just come on for Sheffield there.
There you go. Let's see if Sheffield can maybe get the first goal on the scoreline this time. Try and put MMU in a bit of a sticky situation.
Sheffield doing well. They've kicked the ball. Nice shot as well. Good power, but straight into James Kay's hands.
Yeah, I feel like with long shots in futsal, you have to hit it perfectly for it to go in. Because the net is so small, the keeper really doesn't have to move as much.
The only thing is that if you've got defenders and stuff in the keeper's line of sight, it can make it a little more difficult sometimes, like we saw with the free kick from MMU last week. So maybe they can hope for that with a long shot and hope that the keeper doesn't see it till late on. But yeah, it is a tough thing to get away with.
Oh,
what a
goal there!
Who's that? Number 14 for MMU. Ollie Baker been subbed on as well. Lovely finish there from the volley, from the kick in as well. You just see it on the replay here.
So there's what we were being told about last week, about the set pieces, and it's come off perfectly here.
No, the coach will be very happy with that. Lovely little chip pass to him as well. And seen it attempted from the corner once, and it's come off with him the second time. Lovely finish down low, caught the keeper out between his legs, I think.
See if Sheffield can answer back. They are taking a lot of long shots. It must be something they're working on if they're taking this many, but it's not working out for them right now.
I think the MMU players are dropping back quite quickly as well, so maybe they're just thinking sometimes better to go for the long shot where you can actually get the shot off than trying to get too close to the goal and just getting caught up between so many legs and bodies. MMU doing well here, moving the ball around. A little bit of a missed touch there though to give the ball back to Sheffield at the goalkeeper.
Yeah, MMU are doing a really good job at closing it down. As soon as they lose possession, they kind of just press and try and give pressure to the Sheffield team. If you see there, they managed to get the ball straight back.
Oh, he tries a little bit of something fancy. Doesn't quite come off from Ollie Bacon, though, shot, and it drops down for number 17,
right
Jake Barnes, for an easy finish over the goalkeeper. He won't be happy with that. He was at number 18 for Sheffield there. Oh, that's the sub as well. Finn Aylott, he tries to do like a little fancy pass there, but goes straight to MMU. Ollie Baker takes the first shot, drops down for Jake Barnes right in front of the goal.
Yeah, it wasn't really the best idea there to do that in your own defensive half, and it did backfire on him. Here's Sheffield with a corner. You could see him powering up for the shot there, but there was a really low chance of that going in with as many players there was.
Yeah, there was quite a few in front of him there. I think that's one of their Sheffield's corner tactics. Is that straight pass on line. Oh, keeper's done well there with a double save. That was actually a nice long shot there. Good power, good height. Keeper couldn't quite get his hands on it. It's dropped down for a header. I think it might have been Jake Barnes with the header again there.
Ching Wei. For a beautiful long shot before being saved by the keeper, and then the second shot there just wayward of the net, hit the post.
Sheffield are definitely feeling under pressure now. They look good for the first 7-8 minutes of this half, and Emily have kind of taken the driving seat now and really putting the pressure on them. Maybe looking to probably get another goal before the end of this half.
Oof. Nearly made it all the way through there for MMU. Here we go, it's a 3-on-1. Good save.
There. Come on. I think he might be a new sub actually. I don't think he came on with the first 4 that got swapped over before. I think he's maybe replaced Jamie Villarreal, but I'm not 100% sure. I've not seen the centre back is at the moment for MMU.
I mean, Sheffield here, they don't seem too out of their depth with this game, but you can definitely tell that they're not as comfortable as they should be in a game like this, in a cup game.
Yeah, I'm sure they would have appreciated Logan waking up on time for his alarm this morning for an extra defensive option there. They are still doing well though, only 1-0 down with, what, 4 minutes left of this half. It's a much, oh no, 2-0 down, of course, forgot about the header then. 2-0 down is still a better position than UA92 were last week, and it's not unreasonable to get back 2 goals in futsal in quick succession. I mean, MMU scored, what, 2 goals in about a minute there, so I'm sure Sheffield will be hoping for a bit of the same for themselves in the second half.
It's in the box.
Oh, lovely bit of play there. Marco Safue down to number 17, Jake Barnes, who keeps it in the air, flips it on for Ollie Baker for a header, but keeper's well saved it. Seen a lot more ball in the air today. I think that's something they've maybe been working on throughout the week, keeping the ball up and chipping it up for passes and that, so it doesn't get caught up in so many bodies.
Jake Barnes has been very impressive for MMU this since he's come on from the substitution. He's been very impressive. He didn't make an appearance last week. He was on the bench the entire time, but he's been so impressive this game. He's been creating chances, taking shots on. And the chances he's creating are nearly goals, like the 2 he just made then.
See there as well, 12 shots to 3 on target. MMU to Sheffield. I think as well, Sheffield's 3 shots on target have probably all been from a bit of distance out as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Sheffield have had a really impressive attack on the goal. It's just kind of been
half chances and long shots.
Yeah, I think they will get those chances in the second half, but this first half they haven't really been showing it.
I think MMU are playing very well.
MMU just trying to keep possession here in their own half. But they end up losing it to Sheffield, who give it right back to them.
And then Mark comes through, they're nice to pick up the turnover. I mean, he can't quite keep it under control though. Oh, for a Sheffield goal kick. Time out there from Sheffield.
Yeah, you could see there the goalkeeper for Sheffield actually called that timeout. I think he has taken it upon himself to take over the manager role.
Yeah, the pitch side clock there is showing a slightly different time from ours. I'm not sure if they've been running a stop clock for the whole half maybe, but Still seems like a big jump, though, about 10 minutes difference.
Yeah, if you see the Jake Barnes, just a lovely touch into the centre of the pitch and in centre of the court, and it just didn't work out for him, unfortunately. The timeouts here, what do you think the MMU team is saying? What do you think the manager's saying to the team right now?
Well, I'm sure he's happy with the performance so far. Solid in defence, not conceding any proper chances really, and they're doing really well on the attack as well. They're keeping the ball up in the air nicely, and I think that's definitely something they've looked at because they didn't do it as much last week. These like volleyed passes and shots and stuff. Maybe they've thought it's a better way to bypass players on such a small court.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell that from last week against the 4th tier team, they've conceded less goals against this week's 3rd tier team. So they must have been told something, or they must have been working on something that can tell them, right, we're not conceding again against a team that is not better than us.
The only thing is maybe that, UA92 were the top of the 3rd division, and Sheffield here, having lost all their games, are probably dead bottom, maybe tied bottom with someone else in their league. So maybe those teams really should be, you could consider them the other way around in their leagues.
Yeah, true, actually. Didn't think about it like that, but...
And they're missing players as well. That's a big thing. I think these away games, early Sunday morning kickoff. I mean, we had a team sheet that had about 3 or 4 more players on it to start with that haven't ended up coming, so that's definitely not helping them.
Coming off of the timeout there, it just seems Sheffield are really energised and they've got something going on. They must have been told something, maybe attack, or get some goals. Because if they can go into this half-time break with at least a goal, they can come out for the second half looking impressive.
Yeah, they're still not outrageously far behind them.
No, definitely not.
It's quite respectable, in fact, for futsal. It's really not a big difference at all at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, if we're comparing it just to the game last week, where, in retrospect, the teams that MMU are playing are quite similar. 2 goals is not anything to frown about, honestly.
No, this MMU team is very good at moving the ball around, and they do have those numbers where they can kind of keep subbing people in and out. I think they've already made 5 subs. In fact, Kieran Williams is back on now, so they must have made more subs again.
Yeah, the MMU coach, you have to give him props for that, where he's always chopping and changing the team. It always gives times for players to rest, for people the stamina to keep at high level where you can keep this press up.
I mean, the quality doesn't really seem to drop off depending who's playing as well.
Yeah,
so I'm sure
exactly.
He's quite happy with his team of all a similar quality and play well together.
Yeah, he's got a roster of talent.
It gives him that chance to keep those subs coming in and out all the time. I mean, if they're tier 2 as well, I'd love to watch a tier 1 game. It must be incredible.
Here's Williams on the ball.
Goes for a long strike as well. Not quite though.
Did go out for a corner actually. We didn't manage to catch that on the cameras, but the referee did point to the corner spot.
Takes a little pass out himself as well, loving it.
Actually, the referee here, Les Page, he actually played football amateur in the Northwest for a long time. And straight after this game, he actually has to go all the way to Liverpool to ref another futsal game. So
Yeah.
he's a busy man on this Sunday.
I think that MMU coach is also going to that game. I can't remember if he said he was playing or if he's coaching in that game as well, so they might as well go in the car together.
Yeah, take a journey up. Here's MMU on the attack. They just lose possession there in a bad position.
MMU always trying to work the passes and get that close range shot, aren't they? They have had a couple long shots in this game, but more often than not, they are trying to get those just in front of goal strikes.
He tried to lay him up there, but the pass just didn't make it through, but they do regain possession.
Marco so further. He's a couple nice touches and runs, but a few little wayward passes as well. There again, you see. I know it's tight, but
Here we go at Sheffield. They have a real chance here. Oh,
no, I've just have to complain about his passing. He's made a crucial goal line save with his head, so I'm sure the coach is still happy with him for that.
yeah, you'd have to think there I thought it was a definite goal. But offline clearance, can't say nothing about that realistically.
Yeah, when it dropped to the Sheffield player there and the keeper was still down to the left, I thought they've got to have a definite goal here, but well defended there by Mark.
We've got MMU playing fly keeper right now. See if they can use it to good effect, but every time he just kind of creates a space for someone to pass it into. He's not really getting the possession of the ball, but they're not losing possession, so there's nothing to complain about from the MMU coach, I guess.
I mean, even just making the space for other players to move into makes a big difference in this game. You've seen how tight it can be and how tight these passes have to be almost inch perfect to not be intercepted by a defender. So maybe just having that extra body there to just spread their team out makes holding the ball so much easier, even if the keeper himself isn't actually taking the touches. There's Kieran Williams down at the back for MMU. A few little ball rolls, trying something nice, but can't quite get through the two defenders. Gets the kick in though.
Well, he tried a little shot there. He looked like he was setting up for a pass, but took the shot on himself and just kind of miscued. Just kind of went wide of the net there. Sheffield on the attack though, intercepted again. Could take the pass on, or is he going to shoot? No, I think he just took a bit too long there.
Oh, long shot attempted there from Jamie Villarreal, which wasn't bad, but keeper well saved. Similar there, a little bit of crab football down on his bum as well. Oh, lovely little touch around Marcos Afua, but well saved there by the Sheffield keeper. Tries to get a quick counter attack, a little pass out as well. Just changing over sides.
Yeah, I think Mark Osafua has just come off now for a substitute. I believe that is Harvey Foster for MMU. See if he can switch up the game.
Yeah, he wasn't at the start, Harvey Foster, I think. Came off with the first round of subs and just back on now. But again, as we said so many times, that MMU team, this constant rotation of good players just keeps them so fresh. Just keeps their pace up and keeps their energy in the team well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think you won't ever really see the MMU team fatigued because of the roster that they have.
Oh, a little bit overhit that pass. Still attempts a shot. Keeper does well. Sheffield come away with the ball. Can't quite control it though. Goes out for an MMU kick in.
Sheffield have been a bit complacent with their touches here. Like, a lot of the touches seems to go out of play, or they're not receiving the passes well.
Yeah, they're trying to play in those wide positions, aren't they, and use as much of the court as possible. But the problem is when you win those areas, it's so easy to pass it out. Yeah, well defended there by Sheffield though. See MMU they do go down the wide as well, but they do try and play straight down the middle sometimes, or pass it into the middle from wide, whereas Sheffield keeping it out wide, maybe for a little bit too much, a little bit too long.
Well, just to make a note here that MMU have actually gone back to their original starting lineup. So they did sub all four off, and now they've subbed all four back on. So they're back to the original lineup with Kieran Williams, Sam Cook, Scott Froggatt, and Harvey Forster. But the two substitutions were the ones that actually did make the goals happen. So maybe the plan is here for the MMU coach just to ride it out, try and get the goals, but since they've got the two, they don't really have to worry too much.
Yeah, Ollie Baker and Jake Barnes, they're doing really well off the bench from MMU.
Oof.
Nice little shot, can he get on the end of it? No, just drops back to the Sheffield keeper.
Oh, he's giving it right to him though.
Well saved though, at least to make up for that. Yeah, that was not his proudest moment, I imagine. Who did he pass to? Yeah, I think it was Scott
Yeah,
Froggatt.
I believe it was Scott Froggatt, but
Takes a shot on down the middle though, and keeper does well to save at the second attempt.
yeah, it was a good save by the keeper. It was his mistake, so it's only right that he did make the save and not concede from it. Oh, he's tried to take out a wide there for a shot, and
Still come away with though, Harvey Forster there, but Sheffield have defended him. Kieran Williams trying to get involved, but can't quite get the pass off.
but once again there we do see from Sheffield that when they do lose the ball or they're in a position like that, they just kind of kick it out, just kind of get rid. We don't want any more pressure, so we'll get rid of the ball. I mean, it's a good tactic for not conceding, but it's not going to get the goals. It's a beautiful goal there by Scott.
Froggatt there, yeah, wasn't even expecting it at all, and just maybe that's what's caught the keeper out as well. Unexpected shot, and just lines it up and just Little ball roll, toes it bottom left for the keeper. Would have been hard to save in all fairness. Well done to Scott there. Nice goal, 3-0 to MMU.
He was so open there. No one was pressuring him. He's been pressured all game by the Sheffield team. They've all been coming to him, but he just takes a shot on and he scores. Fair enough.
Yeah, there you go as well. There's the first long shot that has gone in, and it just shows how good those shots are to be. You know, that one had good power and pace, but it was low down to the ground, and you weren't expecting him to shoot the time he did, so he's just managed to evade the keeper down to his left. Because of what's the time between the time it leaves his foot and the goal? Maybe half a second or something like that. It's so hard for the keeper to react in time.
Yeah. I mean, we did see just there that the MMU keeper, James Kay, did take a long shot on, but it was high up in the air, so the keeper just caught it quite easily. I believe when it's low down, it must be a bit harder for you to save in futsal.
So he's gone for them again there. Yeah, I think those low ones can be more difficult, you know, especially if it's bobbling a little bit. It can, if it catches a slightly different spin as it hits the ground as well, it can be so hard to predict when you have so little time to react to it.
MMU are hit. Oh, it's unlucky there.
Yeah, it was a lovely little through ball as well, wasn't it? Just chipped a little bit to him.
Yeah, Harvey Foster just didn't manage to get the perfect touch that he needed. It's unfortunate there, but MMU still are three goals up to 0 goals for Sheffield.
Yeah, they are looking very good, MMU. It's a good futsal team, I think. Oh, Kieran Williams there. Nice little run, little fake, couple of fake passes and shots for a second, just take their shot on, but well saved as well by the keeper. Yeah, Dennis Minter there in the Sheffield goals. Had quite a lot to deal with so far today. I think he could have quite a few more in the second half as well. Will he break Owen Young's record of 21 saves last week? I'm not sure.
MMU now, they've got Jake Barnes back onto the pitch. He was very creative. Oh, here's Sheffield. It's just a great save there, but Sheffield really should have done better. It was a one-on-one situation, especially in futsal. The close control is really important. And he just kind of took the shot.
Yeah, James Kay there for MMU doing very well in goal. He's done well every time he's been called on. And the one time he kind of got half caught out, Mark Osafua there was ready to clear it off the line as well. So they'll be very happy in the defensive set so far. Nice little shot there, actually. It wasn't too bad. Just went past the top corner.
Yeah, I do think, though, that with the Sheffield long shots, they are going for the higher shots. I think they're hoping to maybe sneak it into the top corners. But as we've seen from the MMU long shot, that actually did get a goal for them. It was on the floor, right into the corner. Really hard for the keeper to save.
Yes. Oh, some sting behind it. Number 23 there. Harvey Forster really putting his boot through that shot. Yeah, sometimes they maybe get, if it's up in the air, the keeper's hands are already in that sort of area, aren't they? Down low can be a lot harder to get down to if it's quick. Well tackled and taken off there by Harvey Forster as well. Doing the jobs at the front and the back.
Sheffield on the attack today have just been a little lackluster. I just think they're losing possession really easily. I think when you're a team that are 3-0 down, you should be attacking a lot more. As he says it,
commentator's curse. Lovely little goal as well for Sheffield. Nice little run, well passed through as well, and nice little finish into the top corner.
I believe that is Charlie Stewart for Sheffield. It's a nice finish. Right off the keeper. The keeper is quite a bit unlucky there.
He does get a little touch on it off his foot, but not quite enough to put it above the bar. So 3-1 we continue.
Hopefully this can change the tide in the game and give a bit more pressure onto MMU. Maybe thinking you're not going to get a clean sheet today.
Oh, I think they were saying Joe Kyle scored number 15, but I did think it was Charlie Stewart up top, but it may be, in fairness. No, yeah, number 17 there with the longer hair is Charlie Stewart. I think it was him who scored.
Got a nice little nutmeg there, but nothing came from it, unfortunately.
I think it was number 15, Joe Kyle, actually got the assist there for the Sheffield goal, and it was Charlie Stewart who put it in the net.
Is MMU in possession now, looking to put the deficit back to 3 goals rather than 2.
not rushing at all. No need for MMU to rush at the moment.
Yeah, Jake Barnes, he just couldn't make his way through there, but MMU, they are in cruise control kind of until the end of this half. I just think there's no need to make any silly decisions, rash decisions. Just take your time. If you can get a goal, it's good. But honestly, right now, you don't want to make any decisions that will cost you a goal.
So you've seen another sub for MMU there. Harvey Forster off and Jamie Villarreal on. I don't know what causes it, but there is definitely a trend in futsal players and having football-themed names. With Jamie Villarreal, a second name of football heritage, and Daniel Wing on the wing for Sheffield as well. I quite enjoyed.
Oof, MMU there, just trying to take a really long shot. It looked like it was actually travelling on the floor, but
I think it's Chingwei again though, after last week's goal that kind of was his, but even if it wasn't recorded as his at first, maybe he's thinking he's got it in his locker, so he might as well go for it.
Yeah, he did have a really good game last week, and he's kind of just been rotating this game. He's not really stayed on the pitch for a long time, so hopefully he can stay on and convert something from this.
Ooh, a little far out shot there. I think was that Jake Barnes, was it? Did you take that on? Yeah, Jake Barnes with a little like outside the foot there. Well saved by the keeper as well.
We've got MMU. They're going to take the corner here, and we did see before that they scored. They're going to try it again.
Bang. Oh, see that bounce made that really awkward for the keeper there.
Yeah.
Well saved. That's definitely something they've been working on then. This is one of their set pieces. We didn't really see it last week though. I can't remember a single time we saw that kind of chip ball into a volley, unless maybe UA92 were just doing well to defend the man, so we couldn't quite get the volley off.
Yeah, I think what I'm seeing here is MMU, they've done it a few times now, but they've been able to do it because Sheffield are just not marking them.
Yeah, they're still not picking up the man furthest out, are they?
I believe UA92 did do that, and they clocked on and they thought, can't let them do that.
Mm.
And we see why after today's game, because they managed to convert one into a goal.
I think MMU are looking... It's funny because they've got a lot less goals than they had at this point last week, but I think MMU are maybe actually looking better than they were then. A bit more fluidity in the team, a few more nice bits in there. And I think maybe that's because of the extra players they've got. They were missing last week, Jake Barnes and Sam Cook as well.
Oof, just wide there from Sheffield. Aslan Tunk, I thought he's been taking a lot of long shots on. None of them have come off as of yet, but if he's taking this many, one's bound to go in.
He is more of a defensive player, I think, for Sheffield at least. That's what they were claiming before the game, even though futsal doesn't really have set positions. So maybe that's why he's a bit of a long shot taker, because he doesn't want to risk pushing up too far.
Is MMU in possession here?
I think Sheffield is a little bit more of a zonal marking. You see with the centre back there, just right in front of the goalkeeper with no one around him. One player marking each wing, and then Charlie Stewart kind of stopping anyone in that middle section. But it's meaning that MMU can keep passing it around at the back there and keep hold of the ball a lot easier.
Yeah, MMU, they're being gifted a lot of possession. But last week they weren't really given possession, and they managed to score 7 goals in the first half.
Yeah, it was so end-to-end that one, wasn't it, as well? But UA92, for all their trying to score, did get caught out a couple of times on the counter-attack.
Yeah, I think MMU here, they're being forced to make these good goals, these like really good goals from the corners, from the long shots, from the headers.
Yeah, really neat passing is what they've needed to lead the goals, haven't they? Oh, lovely little ball roll step over as well, but not quite there from number 14, Ollie Baker, looking for his third. Yeah,
the way he's playing today, he's definitely going to get his third.
Well, I've got 3 last week. I think you might have got 2.
A lot of players got 3 last week. There was a lot of goals. Just a shot there from Chingwei, just went a bit wide. It's a good save from the keeper, but don't think he had to worry too much. Sheffield have regained possession here. Can he get a goal just before the half-time ends? MMU here just with constant pressure.
Wasn't actually a bad through ball though. I thought that was quite a good pass from number 21 from Sheffield. Yeah, Aslan Tunk there. But Charlie Stewart didn't see it the same way and didn't even really chase it down. Maybe just under too much pressure from the MMU defender. Marco Sofue there, back on the pitch.
There's 25 seconds left here in this first half. We're hoping for I mean, if you're the Sheffield manager, you're hoping don't concede.
I think the clock on the sideline is actually saying about 13 seconds, 12
Yeah.
seconds left. Our clock's a little bit off. Apologies for that, but it is tough to keep a clock match in there one. As I think today they played a difference. They've played a stop clock almost this whole half rather than just the last 5 minutes, which it normally is.
Yep, that's the whistle.
So that's half time. 3-1 MMU to Sheffield.
Yeah, that's the end of the first half here at Platt Lane. It's 3-1 to MMU. We've got some halftime interviews lined up for you here, so stay tuned.
We'll be back in just a minute with those.
So we're here now at half-time with Daniel Wing of Sheffield. How do you think your first half performance has gone?
It's been alright. I thought we defended quite well. Our shape was good. We shot the ball down the line. Couple sloppy goals. Our set pieces haven't been great. But I feel we've been alright. We've had chances. So still in it, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, through the first half, we've been seeing that you've been dropping off quite a bit when they're attacking. You've been holding your shape. You've been making sure that you don't let them just come in. Has that been something you've been working on before the game?
Yeah, we don't want to get broken down. We knew they were a good team. So we didn't want them to play for us easy. So stopping the ball down the line and just stopping them play for us easy and trying to counter.
You're doing a slightly more zonal marking system as well rather than man marking. So seeing you often got a centre back or whatever just in front of the goalie there. Is that something you work on?
Yeah, we don't man mark. We kind of zone. We stop the ball getting in the right areas for them. Because with the rotations Manchester are doing, we can't track that. So we just kind of pick up on man when they get here and try and block the ball into them.
I think you're doing really well in defence, to be fair. Last week, UA92 were 7-3 down at half-time. So you have been really solid and tough to break down, and it's just been unlucky for you guys. I think that MMU have been passing it so neatly as well. I'm guessing your captain there is Dennis Minter, the goalkeeper. He definitely seems like the leader on the pitch. What's he saying to you boys now at half-time?
We wasn't very happy in the timeout because we were kind of losing the game a bit, but we got it back a bit. And I think we're just going to try and get into them more and stop standing off because it's a cup game. So we can't, if we're 5-1 down with 2 minutes to go and we decide to press, it's not going to work. So just going to try and get into them a bit second half.
I think that timeout talk worked, didn't it? You ended up getting a goal.
Yeah, definitely. How important is that goal for your team, for morale and for the second half?
Yeah, it's really big because 3-1, especially in futsal, that's nothing. But if it was 3-0 or 4-0, could we losing it a bit, then it'd be a lot tougher to get back.
Yeah, we did say that, didn't we? That a 2-goal deficit in futsal was not actually that. It's not unreasonable. So should we let you get back to your team and get some recovery in your legs before the second half? Cheers.
Yeah, so we're here with Ted now, the scorer for the game. Uh, what are your thoughts on the first half performance from both sides?
It's a very open game. Yeah, it's a very open game. I think the standard is decent. Could be a lot better though. I think good rotation from MMU, good defensive structure from Sheffield. It's a good standard. Maybe both teams could be a lot more clinical in front of goal. There's lots of opportunities, to put the game to bed from MMU, but for Sheffield to, make it an interesting game.
There's been a lot of long shots down there. Have you heard either, the coach for MMU or the captain for Sheffield complaining about them, or they're quite happy with the long shots?
Yeah, I think when you have the opportunity, it's worth a try in futsal because it's such a fast-paced game that it's just worth that chance because you're gonna get that chance over and over again every time you're on the ball. But on the other side of things, you could look for other options. Could be a bit more smart about your decisions. Look for the back post. Look for passes down the line, and it's just about being unpredictable. So sometimes if you go for a longer shot, it works because they might not expect it. But if you're predictable when you're on the ball, then maybe look to use other teammates.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this game, coming into most futsal games, you're not really expecting a 3-1 at half time. Are you surprised that there's not been more goals?
It does depend on the ability and the occasion because some teams are just very clinical in front of goal, and others aren't as clinical. That's what I think.
So you train with the MMU team even though you don't play with them. We've seen in this game especially there's been a lot more of these, literally just as you're seeing in the highlight there, these little kept it in the air volleys and high passes. Is that something they've been working on?
Yeah, they do train set pieces quite a lot in training.
But just even in open play, I mean, we've seen so many more of those high balls. Last week I don't think we saw quite so many of them. Do you know if that's something the coach has said we need to try this more in the game?
Yeah, it's one of their strengths, I think. All them set pieces.
Yeah, they've been doing
organisation skills. Yeah.
and this week as well, they've got Sam Cook and Jake Barnes back in the team as well. Do you think they're helping make a difference for MMU?
Yeah, good two players. Offer a different type of style of futsal. Very relaxed on the ball. They understand the game very well, and that's about it. They just add another different dynamic to the team, so decent.
Yeah, perfect. We'll let you get back to the scoreboard down just for the start of the second half. But that was us at Matchday Live for the halftime interviews. Join us back for the second half.
Thank you.
we're here back for the second half kickoff. Sheffield is trailing 3-1 against MMU. We're looking for hopefully a bit more attacking prowess from Sheffield in the second half. We spoke to the Sheffield player at half-time, if you were still tuned in, and they have been working on the zonal defensive the whole time. So hopefully it works out for them here. But it's looking like MMU are comfortable at half-time.
Yeah, I think they, as you were saying, they have been doing quite well actually to keep MMU out. Last game, 50 shots from MMU. Don't think they're quite close to that yet. Today, that was.
Chingwei, he should have really converted that into a goal.
Yeah, there's a big gap down in the bottom left to the keeper. I'm sure he'd be annoyed he hasn't scored there. I mean, just as I was saying, the Sheffield have been doing alright in defence with their zonal marking. They have given up an opportunity there, but it was well worked by MMU.
Yeah, it was a nice little dummy there, but
Little 1-2, just.
yeah, it would have been a nice team goal there, nice quick passing in succession, but just didn't end up in the back of the net there, unfortunately. Here's Sheffield being pressured straight away. As soon as the ball's left the keeper's possession, it's just straight pressure. I think doing that for MMU, especially because of the substitutions they have, it's probably the best thing they can do.
Yeah, I mean, even Dan Wing there was saying that they know that MMU have so many subs and keep their fitness up, and they know that they can't outrun the MMU team just because of the number of players they have. And I think it still makes it tough in the attack though, because MMU can just high press at all times, and it is difficult to deal with from Sheffield. You have to find a way out of it though in this second half and hope to get a couple more goals in without conceding too many chances. But it seems like quite a big ask at the moment.
It looks like he's going to take up the shot here. That big run up.
Not sure if he's allowed to from there in futsal. He has gone for it though.
Oh!
Wasn't bad. Wasn't bad from this angle.
Yeah, from this angle we did think it actually went in there for a second.
I think it might have been a bit wider down there than it was up here, but it wasn't a bad attempt.
No, definitely not a bad attempt at all. I think Sheffield coming into that first half break with a goal is definitely important to them.
No, yeah, for morale alone, it at least makes you feel like you can get goals in the game. Even if it was slightly unfortunate from the MMU keeper, James Kay did get a touch on it, but it just bounced off his foot and into the top corner.
Yeah, it is really important though.
There was Chingwei though. There was a toothless strike followed up there by Jamie Villarreal. Sheffield keeper's taking a bit of a battering today. One to the face, and I think he caught a foot there to one of his arms.
It's good sportsmanship there though from Jamie Villarreal. He made sure that the keeper was okay. Was no malicious intent in that, I don't believe.
No, yeah, he did seem to apologise. Obviously, you want to get on the end of those balls as an attacking player. You want to score, so of course he's going to go for it there.
Yeah, you can't blame him for wanting to do that.
And you with the fly keeper out here trying to keep their options.
Nice little touch there.
Passing lanes open.
Yeah, if we do notice, it's the same four that they keep rotating out. So it will be the four of the starting four, and then they'll bring on Jamie Villarreal, Chingwei, Mark Osafua, and Sam Edwards. But but they keep adding in Jake Barnes and Ollie Baker. Ollie Baker's the one with 2 goals. Jake Barnes has been very influential for a lot of the goals. They must be like the super subs of the team.
Yeah, there's kind of seems to be two sets of 4 that are like nailed together, and then you kind of have a mixture of Jake Barnes. I mean, Mark Osafua sometimes is mixed up in there as well, who kind of varies between the 4s or whatever. But yeah, just that constant rotation. I mean, they were talking then. Ted was talking about keeping it original, not being predictable, is a massive part of futsal, and naturally by having so many players to pick from, it keeps you unpredictable because you don't know what foot they are, what their ability is like on the ball, what their passing range is like, and you can constantly keep changing the team up, and the way you're playing, it must be really difficult for other teams facing against MMU.
Yeah, I did touch on this last week, but it's the fact that if your team's getting if the opposition team's getting used to your team, all you have to do is make a sub, and then they'll start getting a bit worried. The fact that MMU can change their entire team, it's not going to be easy for Sheffield to get used to it.
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, how many MMU got 6 down there just on the bench waiting,
and
at all
5
times.
and 4 of those actually started the game for them.
Yeah.
So it's very important. But Sheffield are not lacking subs as much as UA92 were. UA92 came in with 1 sub, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was 1. But it's such a tough physical game that just having all the subs makes such a big difference. And I think if another team came and had as many subs as MMU did, they'd definitely give them a tougher fight. Oh, well pass in there, Marcos Afu. Lovely little finish down to the keeper's left. I think it was outside the foot as well. Turns the defender inside out and just slots that home. Lovely goal.
Yeah, it was a nice. That's just a really quick shot. The keeper had no time to react there.
Oh. Number 21, Aslan Tunkner, slapping the ground, not happy with his defending there, but Mark's done very well. I shouldn't have questioned him in the first half. After that, he's cleared a goal off the line and scored a goal himself.
Yeah. It was 4-1 now to Man Met first. I think they've had a very it's a good save there. Dennis Minter, the captain of the team, has definitely been under pressure. But as I was saying, MMU, they've been very dominant, but we haven't really seen it on the scoreline. The scoreline really hasn't reflected the performance. But now it's starting to mould into that. Oh, good save again.
MMU's getting shot after shot after shot here right now. I mean, maybe they are going to hit maybe we'll get the record. I mean, he must have made 20 saves already, actually. Owen Young, sorry, lad, but I think you've lost your record within a week.
Just the MMU team, they're forcing the opposition keeper to step up every game. Because if it wasn't for him, honestly, we said this last week, we'll say it again, the scoreline would have been ridiculous.
Well, it's funny because in that team and in this team, the goalkeeper is kind of their captain, acting coach. Everything is a leader of the team.
Yeah.
Again, not something you actually often see in football. I think having a goalkeeper as your captain's not the best, because obviously they can't. It's hard for them to speak to forward players. In futsal, it's completely different. Like if the goalkeeper shouts, everyone on the pitch will hear him. Cool.
Yeah, you could see in some of the clips at half time, we were showing the half time team talk from Sheffield, and they just looked. He just looked like he was getting to them. He'd get into their heads. He was definitely influencing them.
But yeah, Dan Wing said he wasn't happy with when they had their first time out. He was they did push them to get a goal, so maybe
yeah, he definitely
doing his best
seems,
as a leader.
Yeah, he definitely seems very influential to this team.
I think it's just so tough when you're playing against a team with the quality of MMU and the map pace. And there's another one. Who is that? Is that Forster? Let's see his number there.
Number 18. That is Sam Edwards.
Oh, Sam Edwards.
It's his first goal of the game here.
And it's not a bad one. But MMU really getting to the driving seat now. I think they've had more shots in the first couple minutes of the second half than they had definitely in the same first few minutes of the first half. Oh,
they've just give away possession straight away.
Yeah, Sheffield's passing at the back has really fallen off this second half, and it's causing them some serious problems. Oh, bit of confusion there from MMU players, bit of argy-bargy between Kieran Williams and Marco Osefua, but I'm sure they're not too unhappy with each other when they're winning 5-1 so far.
Yeah. I mean, in futsal, even a 4-goal deficit is not impossible to come back from.
But they've got to make sure they don't concede anymore, because
it's
a difficult task. It's not impossible, but it's a difficult task. 4 goals without response. And yeah, if they start getting to 6-7-1, then they're really in trouble. We know this MMU team can defend so well. I mean, that goal, and then they maybe had 1 or 2 other good chances in the first half. Sheffield, nothing too major.
Oh.
Oof, thought that was going in for a second there.
Yeah, no, Sam Cook there for MMU. He took a really long shot out. Just went a bit wayward, unfortunately, but from our camera angles, we're getting a bit...
a bit excited for the shots.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice little control there from Sheffield's team.
And the pass just didn't have the same control. Or has it come off maybe it's come off an MMU defender actually and been a bit harsh there. No, because they push the keeper out, so I'm assuming that they MMU have the ball here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sheffield they just want the game to restart as soon as possible. They want to get the momentum going for them. Because after that first goal in the first half, honestly, they looked like they were going to score another. They were showing promise, and they didn't concede until pretty much the last minute. But now this second half started, MMU just taken over.
I mean, but all the MMU goals in the first half were really well taken. They're good passing plays, good passing manoeuvres. One was quite unlucky that came down from the keeper and was an easy tap in, and then there was that very good long shot from distance that went in the bottom corner. But you see the 2 goals they've conceded in this half, and now the third. Although they don't seem to be celebrating. I don't know if the ref was happy with the kick in there.
Yeah, I think the referee did blow his whistle just before the ball hit the net.
But yeah, these 2 goals they've conceded in this half, they won't be happy with. They were much more avoidable. It's people running through and people taking shots with bodies in the way as well. Just find the way into the back of the net.
Oh, that is Harvey Forster there. He's just tried to really. It looked like he was powering up for that shot, and I think it was power over precision there.
It's just gone too wide, yeah. And the goal looks like it's been knocked onto a weird angle from that angle as well, though.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a rectangle.
No, that bottom left to the keeper has definitely been pushed out a little bit. I mean, we had all that confusion last week with that goal that we couldn't tell if it had gone in through the side netting or if it had come off the keeper. And after the game, we did speak to the ref, and he said that he could tell that it had come in off the keeper because even though all of the UA92 players were reacting to it, the keeper looked quite unhappy with himself. So he was confident that it bounced off of the keeper and into the goal.
Yeah, just touching on that, I feel like if the keeper did react in a way, even if he did let it in and it didn't go through the side net, if he did react and say that's gone through the side net, the ref probably would have given it.
Yeah, he might have.
I think that's just a bit of good sportsmanship there. There's MMU now. They just lost possession there, but you know how good they are at defending the ball. They got it straight back.
Yeah, Charlie Stewart trying to do it on his own there. Didn't quite come off for him though. You see the MMU bench as well, still shouting instructions to him, also involved in the team. Not a bad little attempt actually.
Got the counter attack going here though. That's a good slide.
Tackled there,
it's a good slide from Aslan Tunk. He's been really important in the defence today. Every time he's making really good interceptions, tackles, but it's not stopped the 5 goals from going in.
Yeah, Mark Osafua did do him a little bit for that 5th goal. Or was this the 4th in fact? No, his was the 4th, wasn't it? But he has been very good, yeah. And I mean, sliding on that ground.
Oh yeah.
Just in shorts and socks as well. You've got some real confidence. I'll give you a nasty old burn.
MMU doing their fly keeper tactic.
You see what it does though, because then Kieran Williams there, or whoever else is on the attack, can push right up next to the goal almost, and he can take that position just on the halfway line. So you've got a few more passing lanes at least. Ooh, nicely linked up there between Kieran Williams and Scott Foggett.
Sheffield, they're just not looking comfortable at all this second half.
No, they've definitely looked worse than they did in that first half. First half looked like a really tough team to break down and were doing well zonally, but as we've said, these subs make such a difference. Good shot there from Scott Foggett again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think now you are definitely seeing the subs difference. Oh, look at this bit of easy play. Well, save for the keeper. Dennis Minter there. I mean, I think it's another week where a lot of the team won't be happy with their performances, but the goalkeeper definitely can be.
Yeah, the goalkeeper, the start of the second half, he did let in quite a few goals that he probably shouldn't have, but he's making up for himself here. That double save was quite impressive, and hopefully he can not concede any more for the rest of the game and let the team focus on attacking rather than defending.
Yeah, I think it's on 22 or 23 saves right now. It's a tough ship being in goal for a futsal team. You do face a lot of traffic. You can face shots from almost any distance on the pitch.
Yeah, especially when the traffic's so one way.
and they've just had a stinker there. The
Yeah.
goalkeeper's passes the defender. He's not taking care of it. And I think that was that Scott then? Oh no, Harvey Forster.
Yeah, he managed to convert it into a goal, but yeah, that's really poor play there from Sheffield. It's kind of unfortunate the way we were talking about it, but in futsal, the little mistakes you make do end up in the back of the net.
Yeah, and I think it's maybe the second time. And they definitely conceded chances from poor passes out at the back, Sheffield.
Yeah.
And you're thinking that maybe they should. Remember last week, UA92 were really dangerous when they kept zipping it from the goalkeeper straight to the striker, just getting it out there straight away. And you're thinking maybe Sheffield should try a bit of that, just to get some shots, get some touches in the opposition half, because these little passes out they're doing have resulted in some bad moments for them.
Yeah, I think when you're the underdogs into a game like this, you do want to play counter-attack football. The way that they're defending in the first half was really impressive. They weren't really giving MMU many chances. The only chances they got and the only goals they got were because of spectacular goals. The specialist set pieces, they're getting through the defence, but this half they've kind of just lay off and they focus more on attacking.
Well, I think this half as well, you've seen so many passes from Sheffield going straight to MMU players, and they've also been robbing the MMU players have just been beating them one-on-one with the players, just taking the ball straight off their feet and in their half as well, so they're getting shots off straight away. Sheffield have got to do something here just to steady the ship a little bit. They've not conceded for a little minute here though, but yeah, they've got an uphill battle now. See, there was that about 4 or 5 Sheffield passes in the right. It's probably the first time we've seen that. Even this half, even there, a little back pass has caught them confused about who's getting it. I don't know if maybe these few goals they've conceded have just shocked them a little bit and they're not quite playing to the levels they can.
Yeah, we were told just before the game that the star man of the Sheffield team is Runyang Hao, number 19. He hasn't really been able to shine this game, unfortunately, because they've been so focused on defending. There's just a barrage of attacks that MMU have been planting on them, but hopefully we can see a bit from him and he can shine, get a few goals back, maybe get the deficit down to 2 or 3 goals.
Yeah, 5 goals behind at the moment is really tough for Sheffield. You've probably easily deserved it so far without being too harsh to Sheffield. You have been a superior team.
You see there the quick throw from the Sheffield team into Howe up front. It worked.
I mean, yeah, how long ago did I say that? A minute ago, 2 minutes ago? Try and just go straight up there from the keeper or get the defender and just zip it straight up and just try your luck a little bit, try getting a shot off. It worked for UA92. I think they got a goal or 2 from doing it. I think Sheffield have to match it here.
Sheffield, their attacking prowess this game has been really lackluster. I think to attack on a team, especially against a team like MMU, you need to have confidence, you need to have speed. Yeah, I thought that was going to be a foul there from the MMU side. That was Scott Froggatt, the defender, who fouled the player there. But unfortunately, it just doesn't look like a position where they can get a goal from here. It looks like they're still going to have to do a lot.
No, it's really tough for Sheffield now. It's hard to see what they can do to change this game. I mean, this lad, what was it? I think it's Aslan Tunk, isn't it? There, yeah. He's just being left on his own at the back so much now. Like nice shot, to be fair. I don't like not to go in. I think now they're trying to go more offensive, but so often that Aslan's being left at the back, and it's just not, the attacks just aren't coming off for them. They're not holding the ball as well as MMU.
Here's MMU in possession now. Got Jake Barnes back on the court.
Yeah, I'm sure he's feeling good so far. He got an assist or 2, didn't he, in that first half, and was creating a lot of chances for MMU. MMU corner there.
I think that number 18 for Sheffield.
Oh no.
He's been taking a lot of slides, a lot of tackles that he's having to do because, honestly, that's what you have to do against this team. A team like MMU, they're just so important. Their attacking is so impressive that Finn Aylot's having to slide in and tackle all the time.
They've had a couple of good counter-attacks here. And you're thinking, they've had quite a few... they've had the ball at the back a lot. I mean, passing it just to the defender, just doing short passes. When actually, these last couple of attacks they've had, they've just gone straight for that forward ball, and it's putting MMU under a lot more pressure and making MMU drop back as well. Because the thing is, when they're playing it short, MMU can afford to push so many of their players forward because they've only got one person up the other end. Ooh, well blocked there. Oh, he won't be happy with that. Not quite an open goal, but keeper was out of the situation for a minute there. And number 19, that is Runyang Hao though. There for Sheffield to be unhappy not to have scored.
Yeah, just to touch on what you were saying before, I do think that MMU are quite weak on the counter-attack. When they're being counter-attacked, it's like it really does take a lot from one defender to stop the whole attack. If the one defender gets beaten, it's pretty much a goal.
Yeah, they're always committing so many people forward, aren't they? Which
Yeah.
makes it good for their attack. But yeah, they can be caught out on the counter, and I'm just surprised that Sheffield aren't trying to go for it just that bit more often. Just as soon as the keeper gets it, I'm surprised he's not just trying to zip it straight out to an attacking player, Charlie Stewart or whoever they have up top at that point in time.
Yeah, I mean, if you manage to get the ball forwards into the attack of Sheffield, you're more likely to score a goal. You're not realistically going to score a goal by getting it through and dribbling through the team.
Well, yeah, MMU as well. We said this last week with them. Their players seem to be happy to attack or defend. You'll see almost everyone in their team do a bit of both throughout the game. Some teams have a little bit less fluidity to them, but I think that helps MMU. Yeah, when another team's trying to pass it around the back or the middle, their attacking players and their midfield players can still defend very well, so they're still being able to pick up the ball in those kind of areas. So yeah, it's really tough opposition at the moment. It sounds a bit harsh to the teams.
Oh, it's really unlucky there for the goalkeeper. Dennis Minter, he's had such a good game, but just there by Ollie Baker, I think he's managed to get his hat-trick now.
Yeah, I think he is on his hat-trick now.
Yeah.
Ollie Baker with his third, very nice. Keeper's not done great. I was going to say just before that goal somehow rolled in there that I almost want to see a team more at MMU's level play against them. I want to see a tighter game with them, because at the moment they can. The last two games that we've streamed here, they've kind of got into a dominant position and just been able to sit there. Then still doing well, still attacking well, but they know that the pressure is not on, and I would love to see a bit more of a tight end-to-end game with a tighter scoreline. You know, where it's maybe a goal or two in it when it comes down to the last few minutes, because now I'm sure the MMU coach is just saying, keep it solid, keep calm, keep the ball. We're absolutely sweet, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing what they do best, and MMU here, they're just in cruise control. We've got around, I think it says 9 minutes 25 left in this half, and with the clock stopping, it's probably around 15 minutes, I'd say, 14 minutes. So I think for the rest of this game, if MMU just carry on the way they are, don't make any rash decisions, all of that, continue with the rotations as well with the team, that's so important to them. They can probably extend the lead even more. They could maybe make it to 10 like they did last week. They made it to 12, but it's even more dominant this week because they've only conceded one goal.
Yeah, the game is definitely going for a lot longer this week. Normal futsal rules, and I'm sure normal Bucs rules, is that it's only the last 5 minutes of each half that is a stop clock, but the man down there today operating the scoreboard and stop clock is just doing it from the start, so each half is full 20 minutes of gameplay. Again, though, that's another aspect that's playing into MMU's hands. When they've got the more players and they've got the rotations, they can afford to play 40 full minutes of in-play game, whereas a team that don't have that many players do not want that. They do not want all that extra time put into their legs, like when they don't have the subs to make.
No, yeah, the Sheffield team, I'm sure they're not really prepared for the big bench that MMU have. Obviously, coming into the game, they must have known and they must have done their research about how big and wide the team is, and the fact that all of their players in MMU have the same skill set, that they can play anywhere on the pitch. Their defence is really good.
Yeah, you can tell there's a couple of guys who prefer to be more offensive and more defensive, but I've seen every single one of them drop back and make a tackle, and I've seen every single one of them take a shot on and To be honest, in these last 2 games, we've seen 19 goals. I think I've seen almost all of them score as well.
Yeah. You could literally call MMU the Manchester City of futsal.
Not quite. I think they've got more morals than that. And less investments.
Is MMU for a kick in now? Got Jake Barnes just moving away from it.
I really want to see. I was going to say I want to see another little chip ball.
Yeah.
I was loving that in the first half, and I feel like now, knowing that there's so many goals ahead, I mean, obviously you don't want to be silly with it, and or seem to be taking the mick at all. But they might as well try those like extra special goals and get their confidence in that they can do it, and try some more difficult set pieces. See if they can work it out on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean the opening rounds of the cup here. For MMU, the first game they won 12-5. This game they're in cruise control. They're kind of just, I wouldn't say warming up, but they are preparing for the later rounds in the cup where they are going to be troubled, and they are going to be conceding a lot more. They're going to be under pressure, not going to have as much possession like this.
I mean, yeah, you'd assume at some point if they get far enough into the competition, they will play against a team in the first division.
Yeah.
And that'll be very interesting to see how this team, with all its subs, will match up against one of those teams. And I'm sure those games will be incredible to watch as well. And I really hope we are doing commentary for them.
I mean, yeah, if we are, we'll definitely keep everyone updated on our socials, MCR Matchday Live on Twitter. You'll definitely be able to see if we do get the coverage of those games here.
Everything we do goes on there. So if you're enjoying Matchday Live so far, yeah, make sure to follow us on there. And always subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We always appreciate it. Give a like on the video, leave a comment. Tell us who's the better commentator.
Don't do that.
Benj, I don't know what you're saying. They're always going to pick you. Come on.
Fingers crossed. Here's MMU on the attack.
Oh, what a bit
it's
of
a beautiful
play.
goal.
I think everyone in the MMU team had a touch there. That was absolutely stunning.
Yeah, that was a beautiful team goal there. Ollie Baker for his 4th goal.
Yeah, keeper to defender to is that number 17 to Jake Barnes, and then down to, I couldn't see who it was out wide. I couldn't tell if it was Kieran Williams or if it was someone else who played it across goal. Oh no, 20. Oh, it might be Ching Wei in fact out wide and plays it across goal for a 4th goal for Ollie Baker. Wow.
Yeah, the teamwork here in this MMU team is just, it's on another level. The way that they managed to get through all the players so smoothly, it was like one-touch football at one point.
Yeah, that was literally something off the training ground. That was perfect. Yeah. Bang, 4 passes, well 5 including the goalkeepers, and just a finish straight in the bottom net. Didn't stand a chance really. MMU looking to break their shots record from last week. I mean, they've had 33 shots on target so far. I think they're 33 in the whole game last week.
So, and they've got around 7 minutes left in this entire half.
To be honest, I think this game has probably run for about as long as the whole of last week's game did. It's an hour and 20 minutes since kickoff.
Yeah.
For a game that's meant to last 40 minutes with a 10-minute half time. You can see that the decision today to have that stop clock stopping every single time the ball goes out has extended the game massively. I mean, that's not bad for us. It's not bad for MMU. I'm sure they're enjoying it out there, but I don't think Sheffield would be very happy about it.
No, yeah. If you're Sheffield right now, you're going to say, why is the game taking so long? But, I mean, morally looking at it, if you're Sheffield right now, you just do want to get some goals on the score sheet. I think if you're the player like Charlie Stewart, who actually has the only goal for Sheffield, you want them to really get goals and kind of just make sure that it's a bit less. They lessen the damage that this game does to them.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be so hard at the moment. I think what you're seeing right now is MMU just dominating the game, dominating the ball because of the fitness. That they've changed this team 5 times throughout this game. The whole team has changed over that many times. They are so much fitter, and they've obviously got all the confidence being 8 goals ahead. So when they've got the ball, they're all making runs, they're all receiving and giving the ball so nicely now. And it's a bit similar to last week, in fact, where and there goes another goal. Is that Sam Edwards at that time, I think?
That's his 2nd goal of the game now.
Did very well.
Yeah, MMU are just... I've said this many times today, but they are in full cruise control right now.
But yeah, as I was trying to say there before, another MMU goal went in. I think at first they weren't quite at their best MMU. There was a few more wayward passes, and you see this. It gets late into the game, and they've got 100% sharpness now, and the passes are so much neater. and so much more accurate that it just becomes so difficult to keep them out. I think in that last game they did score quite a few late goals as well, didn't they? I think it might have only been 9 or so with about 7 minutes to go, and then they just went bang, bang, bang and got 3, one after another.
Yeah, I think what it is pretty much is when you're this far ahead in the end of the game, there's a really, really low chance of you losing. Never mind, especially when you're 8 goals ahead. They're probably just thinking they're so in control, they're so calm, composed, they can just have fun.
Well, as you said, Charlie Stewart's looking to add another goal for his one for Sheffield. I mean, all of these MMU players are thinking, we can get on the scoreboard here, we can boost up our stats. They know that this has been streamed, so it's a little something they can clip out, send to their family and be like, look, I'm red hot at futsal. But yeah, I mean, just the passing and everything about the MMU game has improved as the game has gone on, and I think that's why the scoreline has got bigger and bigger and bigger for them. Their level has got better and better as this has gone on. You're not seeing those, wayward.
He's just done the rainbow flick.
That is outrageous. Oh, come on now. You're 9-1 up. That is unbelievable. I'd love to see it, but you also feel a little bit bad for the Sheffield players. Get a rainbow flicked is embarrassing. I remember someone doing it to me in secondary school, and I just went, nope. Just body checked them. I was like, you're not running past me after that.
Well, when you think of football, you do think of these skillful players, and you think of the players that, like, you hear the rainbow flicks, the roulettes, the elasticals. You want to see this stuff, and when you're 9-1 up, especially with Sheffield, you don't want to see that.
Yeah, I guess it was lovely to see. It was beautiful. Well done, Mark. For that. It was nice, but yeah, it's not a great feeling as a Sheffield defender being 9-1 down and getting rainbow flicked. He's not quite Neymar, but he's trying to make it seem like it out there. See MMU there, just picking up the ball, quick passes. There you go. Oh, that's just the first poor pass you've seen from MMU in a while. They still get the ball
right back into a great position though.
Yeah, and done a very nice pass out there as well. He's unlucky not to get a shot off Ching Wei there.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of hat tricks last week for MMU. I think there was two hat tricks and a couple braces. And this week we've got Ollie Baker on 4 goals and Sam Edwards on 2. Maybe Sam Edwards can make his hat trick in the remaining of this game.
I mean, yeah, with the way that MMU are playing right now, I wouldn't put it past them.
Oh no, definitely
I would not put it past them at all. They're looking really good.
Not sure who's called the timeout here, but whoever it is, you're thinking if you're the MMU coach, you're so delighted with your players. There's no negatives that you can really say. I mean, that last play there where they were a bit sloppy in possession, could be thinking, don't fall off, just carry it on, try and get more goals, definitely don't concede.
Yeah, you don't want to see a complacent. Here we go, this is a rainbow flick, isn't it? Oh, that was lovely. He's well taking it down as well on the knee. Did so well that run. That was lovely. But yeah, the MMU coach is definitely very happy with his team. I mean, again, the only thing you could say is that maybe they start the halves a little, and not the second half actually, did score straight away, but the first half they started a little bit slower, didn't they? And their passing's not quite up to where it gets near the end of the game, and all of a sudden they're like prime Barcelona. They're just tiki-taka, balls constantly moving, and they're never dropping it. Like,
I mean, MMU, you can give them the excuse that it was a 9 a.m. kickoff on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So
I know I was a bit frosty, to be fair, before it started. Yeah.
So hopefully, I mean, the later games in this cup, you really can't afford to take it slow.
No.
You've got to be on it, especially the way they're playing now. If they play like this from the start of these later cup games,
they could be anyone. Yeah.
They could make it really far in this tournament. They're only in the second round now, but high hopes for this MMU team.
I mean, yeah, the way they've been passed through, I guess it all depends on the draw. You know, they could get top of
tier
1 in the next game, and that'd be it. But I'm sure they'll be looking for a good cup run so far, to continue at least. I mean, right now, oh no, they've actually subbed on their other keeper.
Yeah, we've seen him make an appearance last week. Actually, he didn't actually concede whilst he was on the court, but he did end up getting subbed off, and then they did concede.
He just says number 7 on his shirt, which we don't have. I can't tell if it's just one of the other players who just chuck that on to show that he's goalie or not.
Yeah, I mean, if that is what's happened, I don't blame the MMU coach for doing that.
Give someone else a bit of a practice run out in case James Kay can't be there 1 week or something. Because he's crucial for MMU as well. We've not seen him probably tested as much as the other keepers we've seen, but But yeah, he does seem very solid for them. Gets the ball and gets it out quickly as well. You've got Mark Osafua right out there then.
Yeah, I believe that is actually Jake Barnes,
Is it
who has put on the long sleeve shirt.
it's Jake Barnes or Sam Edwards in my eyes are quite similar looking, at least on this camera. It could be either one of them. I think Jake Barnes is a bit more ginger, isn't he?
Not sure.
Maybe that's just my ginger eyes wanting him to be after some of the plays he's had today.
Well, I mean, the MMU coach to take off the only goalkeeper that they have.
So Jamie Villarreal's just come off as well from you there.
To be fair though, honestly, 9-1, the goalkeeper hasn't been tested much.
Yeah, because there's Sam Edwards at the back there, number 18. Chingwei.
Yeah, I do
we've got
believe
here
it is Jake Barnes that has come on in
Mark
place of the keeper.
Osafua. And then Kieran Williams down here as well in the attack. So yeah, it could be Jake Barnes there.
I think what they're doing right now is they are playing just 5 outfield players.
Oh yeah, he is ginger, he is in. He was in a bit of a darker spot on the camera.
Oh, what a finish.
And out of nowhere. I'm not even sure who passed it to Mark Osafua there, but lovely goal. Hopefully we'll get a replay of that. Yeah, that was a great finish.
First time volley from a really awkward position there. Yeah, it was Ching Wei.
Lovely.
So we've got 2 players now in MMU on 2 goals. Mark Osafua
Kieran
and
Williams
Sam Edwards.
hoping to get on the tally. Unfortunately, last week it was Chingwei's, not his, and I'm sure we'll be hoping for one this week.
Yeah, Kieran Williams had a really good game today. Every time he's been on the ball, he's been creating his defence. He's been really strong. He's been unlucky to not actually have a goal.
43 there for Daniel Wing, the lad we were actually speaking to at half time. Bit unfortunate there. Saw the open goal, and I think the blood rushed to his head. He rushed it knowing that there was an open goal, and he actually had the time probably to take another touch and shoot from a little bit closer in there. But I guess at 10-1, they're probably feeling quite disheartened out there.
Yeah.
Probably just hoping for the final buzzer, really.
I mean, honestly, going into the first half break.
Oh,
there we
go.
go.
And there's how playing a fly keeper can catch you out. They tried to pass it on the back. Sheffield got themselves a goal, and no, it's very much a consolation goal at this point, 10-2. But they'll be happy, I guess, for another goal.
But yeah, going into the first half break, it was 3-1. The teams looked really even, if I'm being honest. Where the scoreline, it was MMU all-out attack and Sheffield all-out defence. But they did get a goal in. And now they've managed to get it to 10-2. It's just taken away from them. They just kind of... But the keeper there making a good double save. Dennis Minter, he's been forced to come alive this game and make a lot of saves.
I mean, if you just saw this half without the scoreboard, you would think that MMU were on about 14 or 15 right now. It's incredible that actually they only scored 3 in the first half and managed to pop up 7 in this half with relative ease. Sheffield really have just had such a tough second half. They were good in the first half. They were solid, and were just lacking the quality of that MMU had. And this half they've been really put to the sword. Oh, lovely ball across.
Through the keeper's legs.
Kieran
There we
Williams
go.
there.
He got his goal he wanted.
Yeah, he'll be very happy with that. He was having a bit of chat after. At least this time we know it was his goal. And I think it was Sam Cook with the assist there from out wide. Yeah.
Nice little finish there. Past the defender and through the keeper's legs.
Looking happy in this picture. I'm sure he'll be happy after the game as well.
Yeah, 100%. It's a well-deserved goal from Kieran Williams.
They got 12 last week. They're on 11 now, MMU. I mean, they'll probably be looking to try and beat the 12 as well if they can. It's almost like they're more competing against themselves in these last couple of games than they are against the other team.
Yeah, there must be something going on within the team, maybe. Who can get the most goals?
39 shots on target, so 28 saves for Dennis Minter today for Sheffield. I mean, what more could you ask from a keeper than making 28 saves, really? I know he's had a 2 or 3 go between his legs, but so many of these MMU goals have been really... that would have been lovely if it had got to someone. So many of these MMU goals have been so well worked that there's not much he could do about a lot of them.
No, honestly, he's had a really good performance, but some of these goals that MMU are scoring, they are spectacular. Like, if we bring it back to the corner goal, flick up on volley, there was that long shot goal.
And then there was the rebound one, wasn't it? There was
Yeah.
a nice. It was well worked at first, and then dropped to Ollie Baker. I mean, that was unstoppable for the keeper. He already made one save, and that was just in the first half. And then the second half had been so much more stretched by the MMU team, and their zones have been much easier to penetrate as well. So it's
There is the final whistle here at Platt Lane. It's 11-2 victory for Manchester Met. They're through to the third round of the cup. It's actually 4 goals for Ollie Baker.
yeah,
2 goals for Sam Edwards, 2 goals for Marco Osefua,
one
a
for
goal
Scott Froggatt,
for Scott Froggatt,
one for
Harvey
Foster, one for Williams.
Yeah, MMU, their goals have been very spread out this game, but very impressive performance by the team. I'm sure they're happy. I'm sure the manager's happy. But you have to feel for Sheffield here.
Yeah, they looked good in the first half, and I actually thought they started looking better at the end of the first half when they come out and give them more of a game, but it
Yeah.
went the opposite way. I think maybe the fatigue started to hit them a bit more at half time, gets in the legs a little bit as you stop. And there you go, what's that? Just the second half, 27 shots to 18 on target, 5 corners.
Yeah, Man Met really took over the second half. The first half, we were thinking it was kind of even. Man Met were leading in the victory, but they wasn't really showing it. The second half, they just turned up.
Yeah, Man Met in the first half were the better team for their style of play and their attacking wise, but
Yeah.
the gap between them didn't seem that severe. The second half, they really, especially that first 5 minutes where they got a few goals straight away, they really put the pressure on. There you go, 59 shots. So last week it was 50 total shots from you, 59 this week, 40 on target for 33 last week as well.
But yeah, the goalkeeper Dennis Minter there for Sheffield was forced to make 29 saves this game.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, as the captain and the leader of the team, you do want to show a good performance, and I don't think there's much more he could have done with 29 saves.
No, and Aslan Tunk as well, the defender for Sheffield, had a good game as well. Did get turned a little bit by Marcos Osafua for one of the goals, but he didn't actually play badly, and I think MMU's quality has just shone through again and again, and it just seemed impossible to stop sometimes. The way they link up and move around the court so quickly, it's a real challenge for a team to come here and get a result.
Yeah, so Ed, the big question that everyone's wanting to know is, who's your man of the match?
Well, I think the man of the match, sponsored by the Watt Pod, has to be Ollie Baker with his 4 goals, to be honest. But I think so many of those MMU players could get it really. I mean, Kieran Williams only got 1 goal, but he did play really well. Sam Cook played well. Most of the team played really well. But yeah, I think 4 goals, Ollie Baker, it just has to be. Do you agree?
Yeah, honestly, I think he's deserved it. 4 goals today, and all the goals have been very impressive. A few long shots through, a few dribbling through, and he's been really important every time he's been on the court.
I think Dennis Minton, to be fair, would get a good shout for it as well.
Every keeper that faces MMU has to put a performance on, I think.
Yeah, and 29 saves is incredible. But I think that's everything from us.
Yeah, so we'll be back on next Wednesday, where we're going to be streaming the rugby union and lacrosse games. Do join us back then, and you might hear our voices on commentary.
Hopefully.
Thank you for listening today.
Thank you. Goodbye.